once again to Don Bosco College, Kottayam. You are watching Bosco Campus Vision, the campus television channel of Kottayam Don Bosco College. And you are listening to the fourth lecture of the Unit 1 of the syllabus Informatics and Cyber Law. In this fourth lecture, we will discuss three simple concepts: the intranet, the extranet, and the internet. Now, what is an intranet? Intra would mean within, inside. So, an intranet is a network that exists exclusively inside an organization. It is a network that is meant for only the members of an organization. The intranet delivers information to each member's desktop quickly and inexpensively. At the same time, it protects the information from unauthorized access. So, only the members of an organization, only the allowed members of the organization can access intranet. No outside users outside of the company can use the intranet. It is a private communication network created using internet technology, accessible only to the members of that particular organization. The members can access this intranet from anywhere. They can access it either from the institution, or they can access it when they are at home, or from remotely from anywhere in the world. The only thing is that only the members of the organization can access the intranet. What is the purpose of intranet? The purpose of intranet is to distribute information within an organization to the members of the organization. The members can access the intranet either from the institution locally or sitting anywhere in the world with the help of internet. So, they can access either locally or remotely. Storing of applications. Another purpose of intranet is to store applications related to the organization in the internet server. And all these applications can be used by, accessed by only the members of the organization using the internet. Having discussed what is an intranet, now let us see what is an extranet. An extranet can be considered as an intranet plus some outside authorized users. Some more users other than the members of the organization are given access to this particular network. So, it is a little more than the intranet. It is a computer network that allows controlled access from outside for specific business or educational purposes. It is a controlled access. Only some people are given access to this network other than the members of the organization. An extranet can be viewed as an extension of an organization. It can include some partners or vendors or suppliers other than the members of the organization. So, an extranet is an extension of intranet. There are some advantages for the extranet. What are they? The extranet can be used for exchanging large amount of data, large volume of data. The extranet can be used for sharing product information and catalogs and brochures with the dealers and trade associates and vendors. The extranet will facilitate collaboration with the other companies on joint development efforts. The extranet can be used for sharing news of common interest with the associates of the company. So, an extranet allows access to some members who are outside the organization, some members who are not members of the organization. It is an extension of an intranet. Having discussed an intranet and an extranet, now let us see what is an internet. An internet is a global connection of interconnected networks which can be accessed by anybody throughout the world. There are no restrictions. Anybody can access an internet. It is the world's largest computer network. This is the greatest WAN we have already discussed. The word internet comes from two words, interconnection and network. So, internet is the world's largest network, the world's largest WAN, and anybody can access internet from anywhere in the world. Let us discuss some of the working concepts of an internet. Internet is the network of networks, and it provides access to people and access to information. Now, in order to use a network, we have to use a telephone service called PSTN, Public Service Telephone Network, or a cable connection. So, in order to access the internet, we need access to a PSTN. The PSTN service is provided by some service providers. So, there are some known internet service providers. They will provide us access to PSTN. Now, how do we connect to the PSTN? A computer or system can be connected to the PSTN, Public Service Telephone Network, using a modem. Modem is a short form for modulation, demodulation, modem. What is a modem? Modem is a device that is placed between our computer and the internet. What does it do? The modem will convert the computer signals into analog signals that the telephone system can transmit. Very often, the internet or the public service telephone network uses the telephone lines. The telephone networks uses analog signals. Our computers will use digital signals. Therefore, what is the function of a modem? A modem will translate the digital signal that is coming from our computer into analog signal to be transmitted to the telephone network. So, when we send information, data from our computer to the PSTN, the modem will convert the digital signal into the analog signal. Similarly, when data is coming from the PSTN, the public network, to our computer, the modem will convert the analog signal of the telephone network into the digital signal. So, this conversion, reconversion, modulation, demodulation is done by a device called the modem. The modem will convert digital signal into analog signal when we send information from computer to network, and it will reconvert the telephone, the analog signal, into digital signal when data comes from the telephone network to our system. So, we have talked about PSTN, the internet service providers, the modem. The next thing in internet, or while we use internet, is the IP address, internet protocol address. Now, every computer that is connected to the internet will have an IP address, internet protocol address. Now, what is an IP address? An IP address consists of 4 sets of numbers separated by dot. We can see the example there, 192.168.1.20. So, there are 4 numbers separated by dot. Now, each number is represented using a byte. A byte would mean that 8 bits, and we know that using 8 bits, 2 raised to 8 equal to 256 numbers can be represented. These 256 numbers that can be represented would range from 0 to 255. So, including 0, there are 256 numbers. So, since each part of the IP address can be represented using a byte, each number of all these 4 parts can range from 0 to 255. See the example there, 192, it is between 0 and 255. 168, it is between 0 and 255. Similarly, 1 and 20. So, the 4 parts, the 4 numbers of the IP address separated by dot will range from 0 to 255. When we connect our computer to the PSTN each time, the internet service provider will give a new IP address each time. Since each time a new IP address is given, it is called as dynamic IP address. When you request data from the internet, it is transmitted to your computer's IP address, and when you disconnect, when you finish your transaction, your internet service provider will free you of the IP address you were using and reassign to another user. So, each time when we access an internet, the internet service provider will give us a new IP address. So, this new IP address given each time is called as dynamic IP address. So, the IP address that we get is dynamic. It will be different each time we connect to the internet. So, in this short lecture, lecture 4 of unit 1, we have discussed 3 concepts: the intranet, the extranet and the internet. As we have said, the intranet means it is a network within an institution. It can be used only by the members of the organization. The members can access this internet either sitting in the offices, or they can access this intranet from anywhere in the world using internet. The second concept we discussed was extranet. Extranet is an extension of intranet. It is intranet plus some authorized users from outside, like suppliers or vendors. So extranet will help an organization to get in contact and share information with its suppliers, vendors, etc. It is little more than the intranet. And internet is the network of networks. It is the biggest wide area network in the world. And in an internet, there is no access restriction to anybody. Anyone can access an internet. An intranet can be accessed by only the members of the organization. An extranet can be accessed by the members of the organization and some authorized members. But the internet can be accessed by anybody, anywhere in the world. So we have come to the end of this fourth lecture of Unit 1. I hope this video was useful to you. Thank you for your patient listening, and we will meet for our next lecture soon.